This video is part review of a scanner, this Epson Perfection V600 photo scanner. But it's really, the purpose is to talk about how this scanner can be used for art prints, like really high DPI, high resolution, faithful reproductions of paintings or drawings or other art that you might want to sell art prints of. That is why I originally got the scanner, and I recorded another video where I was comparing a couple of different art print providers, Finer Works versus Printful. And so I thought this could be a nice follow-up where I talk about how do you actually get the high quality images that you use to send off for the art prints. After a lot of research, I was trying to find a scanner that would allow me to get a really high DPI and also really faithful color reproduction. I mostly do oil paintings, so I wanted something that could really catch the nuances and the textures and everything like that. So I found this one. I think it was about 150 bucks, 200 bucks, something like that at Micro Center. Epson makes a couple of other higher end ones that are, I think, more like $1,000, but for my budget, this one was significantly better, and it did exactly what I needed it to do. So this is the scanner itself. So I'll kind of break this into two parts. One is kind of reviewing the scanner itself, talking about how it works, how well it works, and all that stuff. And then I also want to talk about afterwards combining them, because as you can see, this is not a huge scanner. So I usually paint on 12 by 12 paper. This scanner actually only holds, I think, maybe 8.5 by, I don't think it's quite 11. It goes I think this is actually 12 inches here. So it'll fit 12 inches vertically and about 8.5 inches horizontally here. So it's really pretty great. Again, especially for the money. The scans are really high quality. I'm gonna throw up on the screen so that you can see the scanner settings. It goes all the way up to like, I usually do 720 DPI. I think what they recommend, I can't remember, most printers will give you the specs that they recommend. I think it's like 300 to 400 DPI or something like that for the scans. I usually do 720, but this scanner goes all the way to 12,800 DPI, which has got to be a huge file. I don't even know how big that will be, but it scans into multiple different file types, JPEG, TIFF, PNG, I think too, all kinds, whatever you think is most lossless or works the best for you, you can select that. I usually don't tinker. There are some other adjustments too, like as far as contrast and all that. I usually don't tinker with that too much. I scan as is. Any post-processing I can do later. I really don't have to do much though. It really captures the colors exactly as they are on the painting surface. Yeah, really high quality scans. So the other part that I wanted to talk about here though, and I'll throw something on the screen as well about this, but stitching your scans together. So because of the size, I usually have to do a couple of different scans. You have to stitch it together. So there are a couple different options to do that are pretty seamless. One is you can use Adobe Photoshop, and that's a perfectly reasonable option. It costs money though, so that's the thing. So there's a photo stitch, and I think it's called Photomerge in Adobe Photoshop. And so one thing you can do is just do a free trial. They'll give you 7 days, merge all your photos together, like do all your scans ahead of time, do the free trial, photo merge everything, and then cancel your free trial and they'll refund anything that was there. So the risk though is if you forget to cancel, you have yourself a nice Adobe Photoshop subscription for 20 bucks a month or whatever they cost. So that's one option. Another is Microsoft made something called an Image Composite Editor. Microsoft ICE is what they call it. And they actually discontinued it, but you can still find download links on Microsoft's forum. So even though, like if you Google Microsoft Image Composite Editor, you'll find some results for the original download location on Microsoft's site, but that's not available anymore. Like the Google result says it, but you can't actually download it. But if you go to the Microsoft Forums link instead, you can, someone has like an Internet Archives link, like Wayback Machine type thing, that does have it. And it's legit, and you can see people in the forums talking about it and thanking that person for sharing it. It works pretty well. I downloaded it, and you can just pick a couple of images, stitch them together, use auto detect to find where the overlap is, and then export it. It's perfect. It actually seems, to my eyes, to work just as well as Photoshop. So yeah, so that's it. This is a great scanner. Gets you great color reproduction, 48-bit color, 720 DPI and more, however high you want to go with that. And then you can stitch them together using whatever options you can find. Works really well for photo prints. The prints that I get from Finerworks are beautiful. It's pretty great. So that's all I have. If anyone has any questions, feel free to comment. Otherwise, thanks for watching.